Hello, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I've had a lot of people join in the past month, which is really exciting. So I will introduce myself, which I don't normally do. But I'm Casper, children's illustrator, recent art grad, just figuring out my life and kind of documenting it as I go along and my process and sort of just all of the stuff I'm doing. Today we're specifically talking about Peachtober. We did it! It's done. I still can't believe I painted every day for 31 days. I can't believe I did that. A big congratulations to anyone that did any amount of days. It's a big feat, and I just want to congratulate myself for doing it. I'm so proud of myself. Today I specifically want to talk about the pieces and just kind of go through it in more of a long form space, because obviously if you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, go follow me there. But if you follow me on Instagram, or if you've been watching my YouTube shorts, you've seen the process of each one and sort of the painting each day. But I want to talk about them a bit more, and also a bit about what I've learned, because it has been a wild month of realizing things about myself and my work, and it's been really interesting. And I wanted to do a bit more of a chatty video with it. Very inspired by Fairy Little Peach herself, who used to do these. I don't think she's done them in the past few years, but she used to do them for Peachtober. So I just want to go through what I'm doing, because it's fun and there's more I want to talk about than what I got to talk about posting every day for a month. So yeah, let's jump into it. Let's go and see these paintings. So, right, welcome to my hands. We're doing it like this because it's easier to show you each piece. This is my stack of paintings. It's so big. I still can't believe I did this. But we're just gonna get into it and talk a bit about them as I go through them. So day one was Acorn. This was the illustration I made for it. I'm trying to make sure this isn't frame. I love this illustration. This is one of my favorites. I think I had the issue of I really hit it out of the ballpark day one, and my expectations were a bit high for the rest of it, but like I love this illustration. I love the texture in it. I love the like flat plane of existence thing I do occasionally, where you see the earth on like cutouts. I love it. And I love this squirrel. I love the colors of this. I really like this illustration, and I really kind of like set my expectations rather high, I think, with this one. But day one was smooth, as always. I think day one is always the easiest day. Day two was Kite. This one is really funny to me because my partner immediately to me, once I showed them this, was like, that's so sad. And yeah, but I wanted to play on the idea of like, I have lost many a boomerang, not kites, but many a boomerang to a tree as a child. And I wanted to capture that like emotion of like, you're tiny and you're looking up at a tree and just going like, oh my God, how am I getting that down? And this is a fine illustration. I have like zero opinions on this. There are definitely some of them in here that I have like zero opinions on, and I'm like, I did it, yay. Like there's not a lot of opinions on this. I think it's fine. Day three was Slug. I went a little bit non-fiction with this one. We're going to my roots. I love non-fiction. I don't know if you guys actually like particularly know that about me yet, because I haven't done a lot of non-fiction on here, but non-fiction is a big part of my work, and I wanted to draw some really cool sea slugs, because sea slugs are so cool. And basically, yeah, bit of a non-fiction spread. These all exist in the world, and I think that's insanely cool. And I feel a bit indifferent about this. I like the illustrations separately. I don't know how I feel about the thing as a whole, but it's fine. I did it. That's the important thing. Day four was Gingham. I love this illustration. It's a little bit messy, but I think the messiness really kind of brings a lot of charm to it. The idea stems from like, you know, in like films where ants will comically steal food from like picnics and stuff. It was like that idea. And also the dumb little bugs. This is something that has not been talked about here because I haven't really done anything with it yet, but I've been really enjoying dumb little bugs. I'm just going to show you a bit of my sketchbook spread so you can get what I mean. like, I've been really enjoying Dumb Little Bugs. The ants come from the idea of, like, really stupid bugs that are just, like, circles and lines. I love it. And the colour palette of this I really like, I think. I don't know, there's something about this that is so charming, and I love this illustration. Day 5 was Poppy. This did surprisingly well. A lot of people liked this one. I like the colour palette of it, and I like the idea of, like, poppies look like little beds, so if you've got, like, a little bed for a pixie, I don't know, it's kind of cute. I feel like the background ink wash should have been a bit darker. I think that was something I experimented with throughout it. It's like I was finding that the darker I go on the ink wash, the better. Not too dark, but there's a really good middle ground of it, and I feel like this one didn't quite meet it, and I had to edit this one quite a bit, but that's fine. Day 6 was Ring. I was terrified for this one because I have never painted transparency, and if you don't know, I used to do a lot of digital art, so transparency in digital art is really easy to do. You can literally just turn down the opacity of a layer. You can't do that with painting, or at least not with water-based medium that I use, with water-based gouache. So I was like, how in hell am I going to paint something transparent? And I was so terrified going into this, but I actually really, really love this illustration. I love the transparency of it. I think I've done really well with it, and it's something I ended up playing with in multiple points again through Peachtober. But this idea was stemmed from ring pops. I don't know if anyone else remembers these. I think they're still a thing. I don't know. But I loved a ring pop as a child. My mum did not, because they get sticky lollipop stuff everywhere, and they're also probably not that hygienic. But yeah, I wanted to play with, like, the ring pop idea, and also, like, the excitement that you get as a child of, like, getting something you really want. Day 7 was Strawberry. This was the first illustration I didn't like. And Peachtober was an interesting thing to do this year, I think, because I was doing more in-depth paintings and more, like, large-scale things than I ever have before when I've done the challenge, and it was the first sort of time where I was posting things that I didn't like. And there was a wonderful illustrator that I ended up following, and we ended up talking a bit through, like, comments and stuff. I will put her Instagram on the screen. There was one day that she talked about this, where she was talking about how she didn't like the illustration, and her fiance was saying, just because it's not your taste doesn't mean it's not someone else's. And that was really cool, and something I really took forward. It wasn't at this point, this was brought up, but yeah, posting things that I don't like was scary. I still don't like this illustration, and I don't particularly know why. I just don't like it. My partner really likes it, my fiance really likes it, so maybe that's to prove the point of just because it's not my taste doesn't mean it's not somebody else's, but I am not happy with this. But it happened, and I posted it anyway. Day 8 was Leaf. I love this illustration. There is something about this. Again, with the dumb bugs, it's becoming a thing at the moment. We'll see where it goes. But I love the texture on the leaf. I love the colour palette. And I also just had so much fun painting this. I really like this one. Yeah, I really like this one. There isn't much to say about it. It's a caterpillar on a leaf, but I really like it. Day 9 was Rope. This needs a bit of explaining, I think. I don't know. Maybe you get the reference. But there's a video, I don't even know who it's by. It was a meme ages ago of snakes being called nope ropes. So I had to draw a snake. This is a corn snake, I believe. I should have written on the back of it what it was. But I really like this illustration. I love the way that it, like, fits the spread and the colour palette. Obviously, brilliant. I really like this. I was finding at this point, the more simple I went and the more, like, drawn back, the more pulled back I took my illustrations. I was enjoying them a lot more, so that's an interesting development. Day 10 was Critter. This was an excuse to draw really dumb bugs. I feel like this illustration could have more contrast. I really like the idea. I don't know about the execution. I think it's just a bit dark in places. I don't know if that comes up on camera the same as it does in person. It's just a bit dark. It needed a lot of editing. I feel kind of meh about it, but I enjoy painting it, and I like the dumb bugs. And the ants have made an appearance again. Day 11 was Seagull. This is one of my favourite illustrations. This one did so well, and everyone else really loved it. I just love how proud she looks. And I really enjoyed painting this, and I love the texture on the rocks, and the energy and personality I was managed to capture in this illustration is like the vibe that I want in my work. So more of this, future Casper, more of this is what we want. But I really liked this, and lots of other people really liked it as well, which felt very good. Day 12 was bark. I feel indifferent about this illustration. If you get rid of the typography, I think it's really cute. But this stemmed from the idea, I love a fun fact, and this stemmed from the idea of, did you know that sea lions bark? And I got to draw a sea lion. I thought it was fun throwing some marine life where I can. Day 3 is marble. I changed this idea. This was not what I originally was going to do, but I changed it up because I wanted to play with transparency again. I think the transparency wasn't as pushed as I would like it in this one, but it's fine. I also wanted to play with the idea of things being really structured and really thought out, and then the marbles kind of just allowing ink to do what ink does to create the marble effect. I like this. I think this is really cute. Yeah, there's not much to say about it. I just think it's really cute, and I love to play with scale. Day 14 was brush. Now this, I went in a completely different direction to everyone else. I think that was part of the fun of seeing each day of like what was the common thought thread and then what was like different. But I was thinking like the underbrush of bushes is like the underbrush, and I painted birds for like the first time ever here. I do not draw birds at any point. And I don't particularly know why. Well, no, not the first time ever. I drew a seagull. That's a lie. I drew a seagull previously. But that seagull made me realise maybe I can draw birds. So I drew some more birds. These are really cute. I think they're not accurate. Pigeon, crow maybe, and then robins. I wasn't really painting them as anything particular. But yeah, this again, I think it comes up way better on camera, but in real life it's a bit dark. It might also be that this room is a bit dark right now, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Day 15 was aquarium. I was going to do a vastly different thing for this, but then I had a workshop. I was working down at the college I went to, and I needed to do 2 in a day, and this needed to be quicker. But I used it as an excuse to draw orcas. I love orcas. You've seen the backgrounds of my videos. I love orcas. I love painting them. I wrote and illustrated a whole book as part of my college project about them, and I just took it as an excuse to draw orcas. Again, playing with scale, and I was having fun playing with transparency here, as you can see. Day 16 is hatch. I really, really love this. I really love this illustration. I really love the colours of it. Dinosaur hatching. Pretty simple. I like the movement in it. And something my partner particularly brought out was like, he's purple. And it's like, yeah, because I think a lot of the time you think of dinosaurs being like natural colours or more quote unquote boy colours, because dinosaurs are for boys. So I made him pink and purple because I think it's cute. I also just love the way that purple looks with green. Love this illustration. Day 7 was whistle. I also changed this one up. I was going to be doing a much more complicated illustration for this, and then I was like, I can't, I don't have the will. So I switched up what I was doing and I drew some magpies. I actually really love this. I don't know if like the colours on their wings comes up properly on camera, but I love a magpie. If you don't know, where I live, we have like the outside of our window has a like large platform bit on. I can't even think what it's called. And we get lots of birds up there. We mainly get seagulls. I've been feeding a seagull. But we also get magpies and pigeons, and I just love magpies. They're so beautiful. So I wanted to draw them. Day 18 is toad. I had so much fun doing this one. We're going back to my non-fiction roots here. And I know it says frog here, but all rain frogs are toads, because not all frogs are toads. No, not all toads are frogs, but all frogs are toads. And they're just called frogs, but they're actually toads by classification. But they're so dumb and stupid looking. So I wanted to draw some rain frogs. Loads of people like this. I really like this. I think it's really funny. There's not much to say about it other than these things exist and they low-key actually look like this. Day 19 was melon. I changed this up a little bit. I was originally just going to draw a beluga whale, because if you didn't know, they have one of the largest melons in the dolphin family. But then I was like, we're going to switch it up, we're going to draw some melons, it's balancing some melons, it's cute. I do really like the beluga whale in this though. I've never drawn a beluga whale before. That's a lie, actually. I think I drew one for the Orca book. But I've not really, like, drawn them before, and they're very fun to draw. Day 20 was truck. I hated this prompt. I don't draw a lot of non-natural things. I very much like to draw, like, natural things. And the idea of drawing a car was like, I don't want to draw a truck. But then it was Fairy Little Peach's video of her talking about her ideation for Peachtober, where she was talking about the truck doesn't have to be for a company that exists or a thing that actually moves, that made me think about my angry volcanoes I like to draw, and what would happen. Why would he be angry? Because he's being moved by a moving truck company that moves mountains. And I thought that was really funny. My partner really likes this one. I feel about it. I like the mountain. I don't know how I feel about the rest of it, but it's cute. Day 21 is Snowflake. I don't know if this is going to show well on camera because it's very light and it needed a lot of editing. But simple cloud snowing. I wanted to do the idea of, like, the paper snowflakes you make as children. I immediately realised how I do not know how to make these anymore in, like, any way. And surprisingly, it was so hard. And my mum laughed at me for this because she was like, it's not that hard. I had to watch a video on how to make paper snowflakes. Also, in fairness, it might have been that they're so small, like, scale-wise. But, yeah, I like this. I like the edited version a lot more, I think. Day 22 was web. I really love this illustration. This is one of my favourites. I think this is really funny. When I was ideating for it, I was, like, thinking, obviously, I thought first about a spider web, because I think in a very natural sense. And then I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing with that. And then I was like, well, you've also got, like, surfing the web, like, the internet. And I was like, how funny would it be if a spider was surfing the web for webs? So that's what I did. And I think this is really funny. I really like this illustration, actually. First time drawing a computer, worked out pretty well. I think this is really cute. This is also when I started to realise, and I don't know why this had never clicked in my head before, if you've got a dark, like, paint of gouache, you can put lighter coloured pencil on top of it. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I think because of the way that I thought transparency levels and, like, levels of stuff work on when you paint physically, is no, you can put lighter on dark. Especially with gouache as a medium and coloured pencils, you can put lighter on dark. This is where I started to realise that. It changed the kind of way I was working. Day 23 was paper. I really like this illustration. I think this is more typical of the kind of thing I do, and I really like the childish creativity I captured here, and the colours, beautiful. I struggled to paint this though, because this was the day that my hairdryer died. Rip my hairdryer that's been with me for like 5-6 years, probably more than that. It just died. I am so impatient with painting that I need to hairdry my paint dry. This was painful to make. I was also on a time crunch because I had to be somewhere in the evening, and it was just like, it was hell painting this, but I really like the result. Day 24 was spots. Spots and stripes was the partner prompt for this year. If you don't know, Fairy Little Peach does like a partner prompt where they go together. So yeah, spots was the first one. I had this idea of like the pattern matching up with the pattern on bugs. So ladybug, obviously, spots. This is my favourite one out of the pair, but I like them both. The colours of this. This I really love. It's not typical of my illustrations, but I really, really love this one. And then obviously day 25 is stripes. I did a bumblebee. I still like this. I just think spots works a bit better because the contrast is similar between the spots on the background and the spots on the ladybug, whereas it's not that similar on this, but the colours of this one I love. And I think it's cute. I think it's a cute bee. Day 26 was bear. I don't like this illustration. This was painful. To start with, the ink wash didn't go the way I planned. And then on top of that, I dropped black ink, so not something you can re-wet with water, on the top of this, and then I had to try and like fix this, and it was just not going well, and I just don't like this illustration. I don't like the execution of it. I like the idea because he's bearing the weight of something and the rocks look like a bear. It's kind of cute, but I don't like this, and I posted it anyway, and that's okay. And I thought maybe the more I look at it, the more I'll like the less I look at it, and like if I come back to it, the more I like it. I still don't like this, even though I've not looked at it for multiple days. No from me. Day 27 is Axe. This is, okay, this needed a lot of editing because I've somehow managed to get like black pencil smudge marks everywhere, so I had to edit this quite a bit. But I think this is cute. Angry axe hitting a thing. It's like, it's very simple. I was going simple for it, a little bit funny. There's not much to say about this one. Day 28 was Button. This was another one where, this was interesting because this was one where I painted it, I didn't like it. I like it now. I think I just looked at it for too long. But it's the idea of like, it's a jacket and the button is holding on for dear life, because I don't know if anyone else gets this, but almost every jacket I own has one button holding on for dear life. And I just thought it would be really funny, and I like this. I like personifying things that aren't people. Day 29 is Sour. I had lots of fun painting this one. I think this is really cute. I really like the expression of this. And I like the colours in it. I really like the colours in it. So, yeah. Again, it's another one I'm kind of indifferent about. It exists, but I like it. It's cute. Day 30 is Whisker. For this one, put it up on the screen, Casper editing, a picture of my parents' cat. I, for Whisker, took a chance to paint my parents' cat Jonesy, who is a mouse serial killer. That's why he's got a mouse in his mouth. And I had so much fun painting this, and I actually really, really love the result of this. I think I'm going to give this one to my parents. But yeah, that's somewhere on the screen will be the real cat. But yeah, I had fun painting this. It was really good. And then day 31, the final day, was Ghost. I really like this illustration. Yet again, I'm playing with transparency because it's fun. I had a lot of fun after I figured out how to paint it, playing with it. I love the colours of this. I love the idea that the little boy is scared of something in the dark, and that the ghost is also there, scared of something in the dark with him. I just think it's really cute. I do think there could have been a bit more contrast between, like, the bedding. Two colours I chose, but when you're painting in such quick succession, you don't really have a chance to go back on things. And like, I could have repainted things, but I really wanted to make myself not, and be okay with things not being perfect. And that was definitely something I learned throughout this, is like, I was getting very okay with things not being perfect and posting them anyway, and just accepting that it's not perfect, and that's fine. But yeah, day 31. And that is all of the paintings that I did over the last month, over Peachtober. I can't believe I finished it. I have learned a lot. I've learned how to paint transparency, which I've never done before, and I actually really enjoy doing, and I want to play with more. I also learned, there was something that I figured out, I think it was on Strawberry that I figured this out, that there is a point when I'm painting that I get to this point where I'm like, I'm done, I don't want to paint anymore, and it feels like I'm just like rushing my painting. I think that's why I dislike Strawberry so much. It feels very rushed to me. But after I realised that, I realised when I'm getting to that point, I can just pause for a bit. I can just stop for 30 minutes and come back and then do it fresh. And I also think I learned a lot about things not having to be perfect. This massively helps my perfectionism. There's lots of them that are not perfect that I really like. There are some of them that I despise, but it's not always that they're not perfect. They're not really refined. So yeah, the stack. I hope you enjoyed me chatting about this, and yeah, I'll see you in my outro. So we're back. That was it. Did you enjoy it? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm filming this the same time I'm filming the intro because it's easier for me. But hopefully that was enjoyable. Hopefully like my chatty little vibes while I was showing you my paintings. And yeah, as always, I have to do it. If you like this content and you want to see more of it, subscribe and go follow me on my Instagram if you don't. And thank you for sticking around to the end of the video, and I will see you probably next month, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get 2 videos in a month. Maybe not. We'll see. We're not putting too much pressure on myself, but I will see you later.